Well, you know, the catchphrase, what that was all about, the revolution will not be televised, that was about the fact that the first change that takes place is in your mind. You have to change your mind before you change the way you live and the way you move.
Good morning. I am Tushka Humak Sheila, Director General of the National Association for the Advancement of Indigenous People. NAAIP is an indigenous peoples organization. This morning, I'm at the Rhode Island State Capitol building. I'm here this morning with members of the Ushkapak tribe and the Ninigrit tribe of the Narragansett Nation. We make the following announcement. In 2001, former U.S. President George Bush filed a claim at the United Nations called the Salvage Claim. That claim gave the United States authority to fully control all people of African and Mexican descent. This control also involves removing these specific groups from the United States at will. The United States told the UN that African American immigrants and Mexican American immigrants had destroyed the infrastructure of the United States by excessive welfare, food stamps, food loans, student loans, and excessive crime. The United Nations granted the salvage claim, and it was not contested by anyone because there was no public notice. After becoming aware of this information, my tribe created and developed NAAIP. We formed NAAIP because we needed an institutional voice to carry the messages of oppression and genocide that was taking place with the American Aborigine peoples in America. In 2014, NAAIP learned of the United Nations 2015 Sustainable Development Agenda, which included specific policy criteria for filing indigenous claims against the states, including the United States of America. Under the Sustainable Development Agenda 2015 deadline, no more new indigenous identity and land claims against the United States could be filed after December 31st, 2014. In September 2014, NAAIP began collecting the names, locations, and land claims of unrecognized, disenrolled, disenfranchised Indians across the country. We decided to file a substantial claim against the Census Bureau and the Commerce Department for identity theft, constructive fraud, apartheid, and genocide of American Aborigine peoples. The claim was responded to by the Inspector General of the United States, who found all claims to be valid and ordered the Commerce Department to resolve the issues. We are still collecting names for the claim against the Commerce Department, and additional names can be added to the claim. Now that the deadline is passed, the laws and policies concerning Indian, Negro, Black, and Hispanic are being removed as legal entities in America, and new laws are being put in place to eliminate all the rights of all non-BIA Indians. Therefore, any claims made using the terms will not have merit in U.S. law. Any claims using the terms Indian, African American, Negro, Colored, Hispanic will not have merit in U.S. law. This means that all Indians in America who are not recognized by the BIA, that's Bureau of Indian Affairs, can no longer call themselves Indian, and they will no longer be protected under U.S. policy as Indians. This is genocide. This also means that the dark brown Negro people in America are now African American immigrants. Immigrants who are now subject to the salvage claim, subject to U.S. control, ownership, and removal. Yesterday, the effects of these covert actions of paper genocide and apartheid were committed against members of the Narragansett tribe of Rhode Island, whose members are federally recognized. But because the Narragansett Nation and most tribes in America are 501c3 nations, they are all controlled and annexed by Congress and have lost all sovereign rights and protections. As 501c3 tribes, they are completely regulated by the state. In the state court of Providence, Rhode Island, State Judge John E. McCann III told these people standing next to me, Rhode Island Indian tribe, with over 600 plus years of recorded history, that they were not Indian and they had no rights as Indian. The judge then ordered the removal of tribal children from the tribe with the assistance of Rhode Island police. Judge John E. McCann is guilty of kidnapping, as is the state of Rhode Island. Judge John E. McCann violated Indian Child Welfare Act, tribal law, and international law. But in Rhode Island and Massachusetts, the kidnapping is actually facilitated and encouraged by corrupt tribal members who work with the BIA and the state to steal Indian children and give them to state control. The judge in Rhode Island is like many judges across America who believe they are not subject to international treaties or tribal law. Point one, today we are asking the Department of Justice to investigate the federal violations of John E. McCann and Narragansett Administrator Winona Harris, who tribal members claim has worked diligently, divisively, and destructively to remove children from the Narragansett tribal rolls and have them placed into state custody for personal gain. The Narragansett leadership has been removing children and adults into state custody and jurisdiction while still receiving federal benefits for those removed tribal members. Number two, suit is being filed in the District Court of the United States of America in the District of Columbia to demand a constitutional answer as to what and who an Indian is in United States law. The criteria for Indian, according to the Department of Energy, the parent company of the BIA, says an Indian is one recognized by his community as Indian. It also says an Indian is one who participates in tribal government and gatherings. But the BIA says an Indian is one recognized by their qualifying process, policy, and rules established by them. This is a human rights catastrophe. Three, the most important point of this gathering is to make known to all viewers of this announcement that all is not lost, but time is crucial. If we do not get the answers to our questions before President Obama leaves office, we will never have another opportunity to protect generations of Indian families who will be lost to paper genocide, removal from natural habitat, and death. This year, NAAIP carried the message of 17,000 indigenous people to the United Nations, and our voices were heard. Your voices with NAAIP will create a roar, and that unified roar will reverberate change. Change for the American Aborigine, misclassified as Indian, and now Indian is gone. NAAIP has been moderately successful in implementing UNDRIP, United Nations Declaration of Rights for Indigenous People, in Rhode Island and across the country. And due to success, we are now targeted by state agencies because we are too successful. Our success has been your success, and our mission is still your mission. NAAIP does not solicit or receive federal funding or public donations. We are funded from limited donations of a few supporters and self-funding. We facilitate remedy. for all issues affecting our membership at our own expense. Join NAAIP and help us tell the world we exist and we demand our right to identity. Thank you.
I'm Kamikabal Makwasha, Maska Sakam of the Uskabagni Hatik Narragansett, family, clan, band, tribe of the Narragansett. Just the other day I was told that I don't exist. We are natural inhabitants of this land, of this country, Turtle Island, and have been here since the beginning of time.
First of the first.
First of the first. Descendants of Ninigrit, Maskas, and Tustasa. Oh.
Musquant Nampashim Nitash, Raging Bull of the Ninigrit Nahantik Narragansett tribe. Here to say that we are here, we have been here, and we will be here, protecting the rights and the values of our people.